Welcome to Curious Jewell Sleep Stories, your cozy little escape to unwind, exhale, and drift off to sleep. Find a comfortable spot, get your blankets just right, and let tonight's story carry you somewhere calm, someplace beautiful, one gentle detail at a time. Before we begin, a quick note. Please do not listen while driving or doing anything that requires you to stay alert. These stories are designed to help you relax and fall asleep. If you enjoy this kind of soothing travel escape, please like, subscribe, and share. Tonight, you're not traveling with a suitcase. You're traveling with your imagination. Light as a feather, easy as a sigh. My name is Lily. I live in Bali. And if you're listening right now, it means you made it. Maybe not to Bali exactly. Maybe you made it through your day. And that counts. So let me take you with me, the way I would take a friend. Slowly, gently, with little moments that feel like warm lantern light. Picture this. The air is soft and humid, like the island is wrapping you in a light blanket. There's a faint sweetness in the breeze, frangipani flowers, warm stone after a long day of sun, and somewhere nearby, a small offering of incense drifting upward. Out here, the nights don't slam shut. They melt, and we will melt too, a little more with every breath. Inhale and exhale. Good. Now, imagine you're arriving at my place. Not a grand hotel, not anything fancy. Just a small home tucked behind a gate with climbing vines. There's a path of uneven stones and tiny green geckos who act like they pay rent. They don't, but they behave like they do. They sit on the wall and look at you as if you're late. I open the door, barefoot, smiling. "Come in," I whisper, like you've always belonged here. And you do. We'll start at the beginning of a Bali day, because mornings here are gentle, like the island is careful not to wake you too abruptly. The first thing you hear is birds. Not just one or two, but a layered chorus, like the trees are holding a concert. And then, roosters. Yes, roosters. Bali roosters are confident. They don't crow like they're asking permission. They crow like they own the sunrise. The light arrives softly, filtering through palm fronds, making little shadow patterns on the floor. The air is cool, cool enough to make you want to stretch slowly, like a cat. I step outside with a small basket in my hands. In it, fresh flowers, tiny palm leaf trays, and a pinch of rice. In Bali, we make offerings, canang sari. Small, beautiful offerings placed at doorways, temples, sidewalks, and sometimes, if you're not paying attention, directly in your path, so you have to do a little respectful hop like a confused flamingo. I've done it, many times. I set an offering down at the entrance, careful, precise. There's something about it that slows your thoughts. It's like telling the world, I'm grateful. I'm here. I remember what matters. The scent of incense rises, thin and sweet. A small thread of smoke curling up into the morning, like a prayer you can see. And then, breakfast. In the kitchen, the fan turns lazily overhead. I slice tropical fruit, mango so ripe it smells like sunshine. Papaya soft and golden, and little bananas that are sweeter than the big ones. If you've never had a banana in Bali, I have to warn you, it will make your regular bananas back home seem emotionally unavailable. I laugh quietly as I pour warm tea into 2 cups. Ginger tea tonight? Or maybe lemongrass? The kind that tastes clean and bright, like your body is sighing in relief. We sit near an open window where the air moves through the room. Outside, scooters hum in the distance. Not loud, just part of the island's background music. I take a bite of fruit, and you can almost taste it too. Sweet, soft, fragrant. The texture smooth like it's been kissed by warm air. I glance at you and say softly, "Today, we do Bali slowly." And the island agrees. After breakfast, we take a slow walk. No rush, no schedule. The lane outside my home is narrow and charming. Stone walls, leafy plants spilling over the edges, tiny shrines tucked into corners. You notice how green everything is. Not a little green, not nice green. This is green like the color was invented here. As we walk, you hear wind in bamboo. You hear distant laughter. You hear the soft clack of someone sweeping their front step, sweeping leaves like they're tidying up the whole world. There's a smell of clove and coffee drifting from somewhere. And then, suddenly, a little stall with fresh coconut water. The vendor smiles, quick and warm, and slices the top off a coconut with one smooth motion. I hand you a straw. The first sip tastes like cool rain and clean sweetness, like your body remembers it's made of water and gratitude. We keep walking, and we pass a small temple. There are carved stone guardians at the entrance, wearing moss like velvet jackets. A few people move quietly inside, placing offerings, praying softly. Bali is full of spirituality that doesn't shout. It hums, and I like that. A tiny dog trots past, tail up, proud as a parade. It looks at you like it's checking your credentials. I whisper, "That's the neighborhood security." Then I add, "Mostly they accept payment in ear scratches." The dog pauses, as if it understands. And then, as if you've been approved, it continues on its serious patrol. You smile. And when you smile, your face relaxes. That's the trick, you know. Bali doesn't force you to unwind. It just keeps offering you chances until you finally accept. Now we go to the market. The market in Bali is alive, not chaotic, just vibrant. It buzzes softly like a hive of human warmth. There are baskets of spices, turmeric, ginger, cinnamon sticks stacked like little bundles of bedtime. There are flowers in outrageous colors, pink, orange, yellow, so bright they look like they're lit from inside. Women move through the aisles with effortless balance, carrying baskets on their heads like it's the easiest thing in the world. I once tried it. Once. I lasted 3 steps before my basket and I had a small disagreement about gravity. A vendor handed me the basket back and smiled in a way that said, "It's okay, Lily. You are cute, but you are not a pillar." We stop at a food stall, and the air smells rich and delicious. Garlic, fried shallots, warm rice. I order something comforting, nasi goreng, fried rice with sweet soy, bits of vegetables, maybe an egg on top. It arrives steaming. The first bite is savory and warm, a little smoky, a little sweet. It tastes like the island's version of a hug. A rooster wanders past our feet. Yes, at the market too, like he's shopping. He pauses near a pile of chilies, looks at them with deep suspicion, and then walks away as if he has decided, no, too spicy, not today. I whisper, even the rooster has boundaries. And you breathe a soft laugh. We buy a few things, fresh fruit, a small woven pouch, maybe a tiny carved charm that fits in your palm. It's smooth and cool, like a secret you can hold. And as we leave the market, the air shifts. It's subtle at first, a little heavier, a little quieter. The birds seem to pause between songs. I tilt my head and say softly, storm's coming. In Bali, storms don't tiptoe. They arrive with drama, but a beautiful kind. The wind changes direction. Palm leaves start to rustle more loudly, like the trees are whispering warnings to each other. We walk faster, not rushed, just purposeful. The sky darkens in layers, soft gray, then deeper charcoal. Clouds gather like blankets being pulled across the afternoon. And then, the first raindrop. It lands on your skin like a tiny, cool kiss. Another, then another. And suddenly, the rain begins in earnest. Not a drizzle, but a full, tropical downpour. It's loud, and it's clean, and it makes the world smell alive. We duck under the roof of a small cafe with an open front. The owner nods like this is perfectly normal. Because it is. Rain in Bali is a rhythm. We sit at a wooden table. Outside, water spills off rooftops in sheets. The street becomes a shining ribbon of puddles and reflections. Someone brings us warm drinks. Maybe tea. Maybe strong Balinese coffee. Deep, dark, sweet. The sound of the rain is constant now, a thick curtain of sound. And it does something to your nervous system. It smooths. It quiets. It tells your body, you are safe. I rest my elbows on the table and watch the rain, looking peaceful. Sometimes, I whisper, the storm is the island's way of telling everyone to sit down. You can feel it, the way the whole world slows. Scooters disappear. Voices soften. The rain becomes our lullaby. And now, as the storm rolls on, you can imagine the small details. A drop sliding down a banana leaf, gathering into a bead before falling. The scent of wet earth, rich and grounding. The distant rumble of thunder, low and slow, like the sky is yawning. We stay here, tucked away, warm and dry. And you don't have to do anything. Just listen. Just breathe. Inhale and exhale. Good. The storm continues, and with it, the island feels even more intimate, like Bali is leaning in close to whisper a bedtime story. After a while, the rain softens. It doesn't stop suddenly. Storms here don't slam doors. They fade. The sound changes from roaring to tapping to a gentle drip, drip, drip. The sky lightens, and outside, everything looks newly washed. The leaves sparkle. The air feels cooler. The world smells like fresh beginnings. We step out carefully, avoiding puddles. Though honestly, puddles in Bali are charming. They reflect palm trees and sky like little mirrors scattered on the ground. A gecko chirps somewhere, tiny, confident. And birds begin again, testing their voices like they're checking if the storm is truly over. We walk slowly back toward home. Along the way, you see people emerge again, smiling, chatting, returning to their day like the storm was just a pause button. I tell you, Bali storms are like a reset. Then I add, a dramatic reset with sound effects. And you smile again. At home, I open all the windows. The air flows through the rooms like a blessing. I lay out a light cloth and set a small bowl of flowers near it. Frangipani, maybe jasmine. Not because it's necessary, because it's lovely. And sometimes that's reason enough. As evening approaches, the island changes its mood. The light turns golden. The air cools just slightly. And the sounds shift. You hear distant chanting sometimes, soft and melodic, like someone singing to the universe. You hear a gamelan in the distance, metallic notes, gentle and hypnotic. In Bali, tradition lives right alongside daily life. It isn't separate, it's woven in. I make another small offering, simple, quiet. I light incense again. A thin ribbon of smoke curls upward, and the scent fills the air. Sweet, resinous, comforting. I explain softly, it's a way of remembering. Then I pause and add, with a small smile, also, it makes everything smell like a sacred spa. We laugh gently, and the laughter feels soft, not sharp or loud. The kind of laughter that doesn't wake you up, it settles you deeper. For dinner, we keep it simple and comforting. Maybe a bowl of warm soup. Maybe sauté skewers with peanut sauce. Sweet and savory with a little smoky char. Maybe steamed rice and vegetables with fragrant spices. The kitchen smells like garlic and ginger and warmth. Outside, the night insects begin their chorus. Steady, rhythmic. A nighttime orchestra. We eat slowly. We don't talk about big, heavy things. We talk about small, sweet things. Like how the rain sounded. Like how the rooster at the market clearly had opinions. Like how the coconut water tasted like clean joy. After dinner, I wash the dishes, and you can hear the water running, steady and calming. The clink of a cup, the soft scrape of a plate. There's something so soothing about ordinary sounds when you let them be gentle. Now the night deepens. The air is warm, but not hot. A soft breeze slips through the window, moving the curtains like slow ocean waves. I show you the sleeping space, simple and cozy. Light bedding, a pillow that feels like it's been waiting for you. Outside, the world is dim and quiet. Not silent. Bali is never silent, but the sounds are friendly. Crickets, distant water, a gecko clicking softly like a tiny metronome. I sit nearby and speak softly now, slower, lower. Let your body feel heavy, I whisper. Let the island hold you. Imagine the day again, but like a dream montage. Morning light through palm leaves, incense curling upward, market colors, warm nasi goreng, and the storm washing everything clean. With every breath, you sink deeper, Inhale and exhale. Let your forehead soften. Let your eyes rest behind your lids. Let your shoulders melt. If any thoughts drift in, that's okay. Just let them float by like clouds after rain. You don't need to chase them. You don't need to solve them. Tonight, you are here, in Bali, with the warm night air and the gentle chorus of the island. I whisper one last thing, like a blessing. May you sleep deeply. May your dreams be kind. May you wake feeling new, like the world after a storm. And now, we rest. Breathing in and out. In and out. Good night.